Hello and welcome to another mini masterclass for dream builders and world changers with me, Michelle Thomas from the Happy Business Club. I'm doing these for you so that you can get your head on straight and start becoming strong as hell to show up for your business and make sure that when the shit balls come a-flying, you're the one that bounces back really, really quickly. So the whole purpose of this is to kind of lead up to the event that I'm doing. It's an in-person event, Dream Builders and World Changers, on the 1st of November in Preston. If you haven't got your tickets, there's a link below. When this is on the YouTube, there'll be a link below on the masterclass. This is actually a recording. We recorded it yesterday. Because Louisa couldn't make it for a 7 o'clock. She's too busy. Anyway, so that's what we're going to do. If you haven't got your tickets, drop into the link, get some more information about that. But today's masterclass is an important one. It's about money. Money. It's the lifeblood of business. It's the thing that greases the wheels of commerce. And if you're in business, you're going to need a bit of it. But what happens when you're not in it for the money? Now, heart-led business owners, I know that this is going to be something close to your hearts. It's something close to my guest's heart. This lady is phenomenal, Louisa Willcox. She is going to be speaking at our event about something slightly different than what we're talking about today, but we're going to be looking at this. Come here, you gorgeous woman. Hello.
Morning. Hello. I feel like I need like a cash machine, sort of like spread it out as you introduce me or something.
Oh yeah, I'd like a bit of money from the cash machine. So the holidays are breaking.
It'll be Monopoly money.
Oh well, all right. I don't think I could get away with going into a shop and trying to buy something. Most people do it digitally anyway now, don't they?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Okay, so you, like me, heart-led business owner, soft as toffee. We go around trying to help people, trying to lift the mood of the planet, trying to help people do better through the work that we do. And we run businesses, and these businesses provide for our families, and they help us create lives outside of the business, even though lives outside of the business in our minds doesn't really exist.
Not when you're an entrepreneur, no.
No, and some of the conversations that we have on a regular basis is this thing about getting the ick when you come across sales. I mean, I know it's some people, it lights their fire. Some people are all for it. Some people get into the excitement of it. But sometimes the people that we end up working with are the ones that are like, 5K a month, 10K a month, 100K a month, first $1 million sale, 30 million launch, whatever. And we're like, we do exactly what you just did then. We roll our eyes and go, pull the other one. The other one. Life is not as easy as that. It is a lot harder. It takes a lot more effort. We're there, pedaling away, trying to do what we need to do and run a business and run our lives as well. But sometimes it doesn't pay off in the way that these promises are made. And we don't want to get sucked in because we're a bit cleverer than that, aren't we?
I think it's really difficult because with the online world, we have all of this thrown at us, and we see all of the positives about business online and the quick wins, 5K, 10K, 15K months, the big launches. But what they're not showcasing is all the failed months. Something I've noticed from people I have worked with as mentors, my own mentors and things, is they will be very quick to say, I've had a 10K month. My months are 10K, but they've only had 1 month in their entire business journey that they hit like a 10K month or something. Yeah. But it seems to be this status symbol. But then when you actually look behind the scenes, it's not the case anyway. And I think sometimes we actually, as entrepreneurs, we have to almost be like investigators, and we need to strip away everything we're seeing and go, actually, what is the truth behind that? Because there is such a front on social media that is a load of rubbish. And it is very much a case of they are showing you what they want to. And as you're going through business, and, I talk about money, it's everything I do. If you're ADHD and you want to know about your money, I'm your person. And I'm founder of Let's Get Wealthy. So everything I talk about is money and wealth. But building your business up in a sustainable way that works for you and your family, yes, you can hit those 5, 10, 15K months. I'm not going to say you're not going to have an amazing launch, but it's about doing it consistently and sustainably over a long amount of time, because that one launch isn't going to be the whole winner for your business.
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't realize, because we don't talk about it enough anymore, is a successful business takes a minimum of 10 years to grow. It takes 10 years to build a business, and that's 10 years probably before you're going to be even somewhat profitable. It's about the long game, but actually those businesses who take that time, if you take that time to build that business, the bases and the structures, and that's sometimes getting things very wrong. Sometimes it can be losing money, sometimes it can be gaining money, it can be annoying clients, it can be having wins. It's all of the highs and lows within business, and not because you're meaning to do that, but because it's a learning curve. Those who take that time to do it properly, the right way, and it is doing it the right way over a long amount of time, will be here for the long run. And I was told, let me see if I can say the word, a statistic. I'm very proud of myself for being able to say that, because I can't normally say that. Literally a couple of weeks ago, and I've always said about 60%, but it's actually higher than that. 9 out of 10 businesses fail within the first 3 to 4 years. And a lot of that comes down to mindset, the realization of how hard business is, and shiny syndrome and FOMO is a huge thing on that as entrepreneurs, because we feel like we should be at all of these fabulous events that are getting chucked in our face. I've been there, done it myself. I hold my hands up. Yes, it can be great for networking, building your business up, but actually you need to be making sure you're doing something that is right for your business, and not just because there's people you like there. If you're going to an event where you know everyone, you shouldn't be going to that event. Unless you're going for a reason.
And that's the whole reason that I'm doing the Dream Builders and World Changers. It's specifically so that you can go there, start learning about yourself, get some real key learnings from experts like yourself about things that are relevant to your business and the things that you find in your business, so that you can go away with a rocket up your ass and actually do something about it. This event is going to be very much, I'm not saying that it's not like any other, because I'm sure that out of all the people that I know, they've done some brilliant events that I haven't been to, and I've got to admit I do get FOMO. But what I'm saying is that this isn't necessarily about the networking. It isn't necessarily about the speakers themselves and what they've done in this world. It's about the person that's attending and how they're going to build their dreams and their businesses going forward from a really great place, from their strengths, from building their strengths and knowing that they have weaknesses, so that they can then bounce back up again. And that's what we need. We need really resilient people. We've had it too easy. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but we've had it too easy for too long. And that ease is not doing us any favors, because it's not making us stronger, and it's actually making us weaker, and not allowing us to utilize and leverage the power that we actually have as human beings. So that is what we're going to be doing at the events. So,
and that's why I love your event, because people are going to be going away with a plan. Whereas I went to an event recently, and I traveled quite far for it, and it was a good event, don't get me wrong, but I'd heard everything that was being spoken about, and I didn't go away with anything other than being spoken to the whole time. Yes, you do need to listen to the experts on stage, and I'm going to be on your stage, so I'm going to say that, because you are getting the knowledge from those people. But it's about going away with a clear action, and yes, you will meet new people, but you need to do the follow-up after that. And this is the trouble, is it's not just about going for the event and the people there, it's about what you're going to be getting from it. And you will get the most from your business and your money by actually going away with a clear action, and then taking action on that action, not just writing it down in a fancy notebook, actually doing something about it. Because like you said, and I think we get so stuck in our comfort zone that then we don't grow, and then it's quite scary taking that next step. And but that is then when it starts hitting on, as a business owner, hitting on your money, hitting on your profit and the way that you're running it, and then you're not growing, you're not bringing in more money. But when you are taking that action, that's when things will changes, and you do have to come out of your comfort zone. You have to push yourself, and that's really hard sometimes. And on a financial side, that can actually be simply looking at your money and coming to the realization of where you are financially, so that actually you can make those changes. Because until you're actually willing to dive, it is. And even for myself, and I coach people on money. Even for myself, sometimes it can be really hard just sitting and looking at my own finances, because obviously I can do it for someone else because you haven't got that emotional attachment there. But it can be really hard sitting going, right, what's my financial situation? And my financial situation now is so much better than what it was like even just a few years ago, because I've actively worked on it, got the skills, I've learned, I've got the financial education now, which I'm teaching others. But it can still be hard when you're going deep into yourself and your own habits and your own mindset and things, and going, oh, that's what I'm doing. Actually, maybe I need to grow in that area. But it's taking that first step to growing.
Yeah, and that kind of honesty, I mean, it's difficult to be honest about the things, the places where you failed, the things that you're doing that are not working, because it is comfortable to do it, even though it's not working, and that's just uncomfortable. It's comfortable to do something that you already know and that you already learned, but you never grow from that. I want to go back to this whole idea of what do you do when you're not in it for the money?
Yep.
Okay, so we've talked about this get rich quick scheme versus sustainability. We're in a very fast-paced moving world where we need money into the business, to come into the business so that we can grow our businesses. We understand all that, and we know that it's really hard, and we know that we have to get honest. But what about when the purpose of creating the business and the mission that you have is bigger than money? It's bigger. It's not about the amount of money that you've got at the bank, and quite often that's blooming scary because it's constantly moving and it's never the same. But what about when it's, well, my mission is to help people with ADHD get on top of their money. Money doesn't really come into the picture in terms of filling up your bank account in the business sense and then using that to go on fancy holidays and sipping cocktails whilst you're on your computer, which you wouldn't want to do anyway. So it's like there's a disconnect there between the true purpose of the reason why you're doing it and this idea that money is the reason why you're going into business. How do we separate that? How do we overcome that when our hearts are saying one thing and our heads are saying another?
See, I actually think that's quite a difficult question to answer because myself, with building this business up, I've gone on that journey. Because the reality is we all need money to eat and keep a roof over our head. But when you're passionate about something, and my business with this is teaching financial education, this is my passion. I absolutely love it. I think when you are passionate about something, you persevere through that. And it is really hard because, yes, you do have sacrifice. You have to have personal sacrifice because you do need to reinvest in your business. And it takes time. Again, it's about the long game to do that. But when you're not in it for the money, and it's your passion and it's something you're loving, I honestly believe you get more satisfaction out of it. It's the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning. I don't wake up in the morning and go, oh, I'm going to go down Costa and have a oat milk latte. I get up in the morning and I think, right, how can I help people today? What can I put out there that's going to give someone a tip, that's going to get someone talking to me, that's going to help me move them forward? What can I do to sometimes get people to work with me, not necessarily for the money side, but because I know with what I do, it's going to change their life. But yes, ultimately, money does follow passion. I do believe that. And I do think when you actually create something that you truly believe in and you truly love, then you are building a community. And a community is really important. And then when you do that, then yes, you do get the money from that. But it's about remembering that it takes time and it's not that overnight process. And to be completely transparent, those overnight wins, those people who say, oh, I had £1 million launch in the first 6 months. Yeah, they probably did. What they're not telling you about is the business that they had before that or the investment that they put to be able to do in that launch. When you are building up a business from nothing, which is what I've done with both my businesses, I've built it up from a laptop and no money behind them. It takes a long time to do it because you haven't got that injection of cash to do that. But when you are doing something and it's that disconnect between the money and the business, it takes time. But I also think people have to remember that if you are building up something you love in, there is no harm if you need to, so you can afford to eat, you can enjoy life, actually just go and get a part-time job. Go and do something that's going to bring in the extra money whilst you're building up that passion project. And I say that because I'm seeing so much on the online space, especially, I hate to say it, there's a lot of bro male coaches out there going, oh, unless you're fully in it and you're giving it your all, your 100%, unless you destroy everything and don't see your family for a whole year, you're not really invested in your business, it's going to fail. That's not the truth. That's very explaining. Like, come on, you have to live, you have to enjoy life. No, you can still build a business that's going to bring you money, that you're passionate about, that you love, that is going to change people's lives, and still work a part-time job in the meantime whilst you need to. And if you need to do that to put food on the table, then go and do that. Let's stop this notion that unless you sacrifice your entire world, you're not going to get there, because you are. And my business is about being wealthy, and that is about looking after yourself, your mental, your physical health, enjoying your life now, because what's the point in doing all this if you're not enjoying what you have now? And actually, yes, having the money, looking after your money, getting the financial literacy and the education, growing your future wealth, if you've got children, growing your children's future wealth. because it all comes together, and that's living a wealthy life. But it is still okay to go and enjoy yourself. Because again, I see a lot of other money coaches out there that go, oh, you shouldn't go and get like, I don't know, you shouldn't go and buy like a cake or something. Well, why shouldn't you? That one slice of cake a month isn't going to break the bank. If that's what you need
A
to keep
month?
yourself.
A
Oh,
month?
come on. I know
A
you have
day?
more yourself.
My first thought every day is, how can I eat cake today?
Well, you can bake cake. But this is again where the sacrifice comes in with it, isn't it? Right. So you can bake, but it's about being realistic about your finances, spending below your means and being realistic. So yes, there does come sacrifice within this. You know, I would absolutely love, you know me, I mean, I've got a coffee now. I got this free through my O2 priorities. I got my free, you can get a large copy of your O2 priorities, which I found out recently. So I now go large. Like I enjoy you know, I'm a coffee snob. I love coffees, but it's about doing changes. So yes, I could easily go and spend nearly £5 a day now, because it is, on a coffee down in town. Or I could actually spend like less, or buy a bulk bag of beans and make myself a really nice coffee at home and use the money elsewhere. So yes, there sometimes is sacrifice around that. But what I'm saying is you can still enjoy your life whilst you're building up the things. And we need to start stepping away from what we've been conditioned to believe, because we have been conditioned to spend. And sometimes you need to come away from the norm and go, actually, that's not how I want to be running my life. This is how I want to be living my life. And it's okay to be doing that, to come away from what society are telling us and go back to, actually, this is how I want to do my life. You know, I've got, my household is very neurodiverse. My son's just been diagnosed with autism. My youngest is going through the pathway for ADHD diagnosis. You know, I've trying to get myself diagnosed.
I know the story.
Pretty much, I've got ADHD.
It's like this.
I know, you can tell as I'm talking. But the thing is, like, you have to sometimes, when you are neurodivergent, you have to step away from the norm and do things that work for you, because out there in society everything is thrown at us to be spending and be doing these things, and it's going, no, that's not right for me and my family, that's not what I want to be doing. So then when you're building your business up, you're doing the same, and you're stepping away from the norm and you're building it up in a way that works for you. But it is okay to do things different so that you can still eat.
Yeah,
that was a really long answer to that question.
I'm going to completely unpack that, because there's about 10 things in there that
Sorry.
I was like, oh my God, is everybody going to grab hold of this? Because obviously this is a masterclass and we want to kind of break things down. This is why you're fabulous at what you do. There was a couple of things in there. The first was the idea of, it's okay not to be making loads of money out of the things that you're passionate about, as long as you're supporting your life doing other things. And I've got to tell you that in the last few years, since I've been going out and meeting more business owners, I mean, I've been talking to business owners for the last 20 odd years. I grew up, in fact, it's longer than that, because I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs. My dad was a regular Dell boy. He used to have a thing on the market, and I even went into his shop the other day and helped him work in the shop. It was absolutely fantastic. But I speak to a lot of business owners, and 9 times out of 10, especially when they're working on their own, I find out, and I generally ask the question now, what is it that you do other than this business? Because they're all excited about telling you about the business, but they've got something in the background that they do as well. Their muggle job, or their bread and butter job, or their other business, sideline business. They call it the sideline business, but it's the one that makes the most of the money. For them, the main business is not necessarily the thing that they make the money in yet, but it's the thing that they devote their time and energy to, because the other business has created the systems to bring in the money to actually support their lifestyle and their business. I am one of these people, and I would say that 9 times out of 10, when I speak to people, I find out that they've got there's been people who have worked in solicitors and lawyers and banks and charity shops, and they've got 3 other businesses, little sideline gigs and all sorts of things. And I myself, I have another business that I've been running for 12 years, and that brings in the money, and I get to be part of that world, and it's amazing. But that's not the thing that I spend all my time and effort on. But it took me 12 years. So you're saying about 10 years, it took me 12 years, and we had COVID in the middle of that as well. That's a pill and a half.
That time counts.
But I managed to get my business through that and get it profitable, and it did take me all of that time, and it took flipping gumption and flipping you know, the idea that I've got to get up every day and keep going because this is what I've devoted my life to. And then obviously this as well. So number one, absolutely. In this day and age, it's not about having one job for life. It's about bringing in things from what you have available and the resources that you have available. And we're so multi-skilled, especially when we get to our age and we've got all this experience. I say our age, you're a generation younger than me, but but you know what I mean in terms of experience. We bring that to the table already, and because we're kind of working on parts, there's going to be parts of your experience that are going to be relevant to things that are not necessarily relevant to your passion project and your business that you're trying to build. So that was number one. Number two is the rich or wealthy lifestyle is not sipping cocktails on a desert island on a lilo whilst somebody dances for you, you know, for your amusement.
I mean, don't get me wrong, that's going to be fun for a little bit of time, isn't it? And then you're going to get bored. Like, yes, you will get bored. I hate to say it. We all go, oh, if you had millions of pounds, what would you do? And we all go, oh, I'll go and sit, like, you know, my mocktails on the beach. I would get bored. I'd get bored as hell because my brain couldn't do that.
I'd be okay for like 2 weeks. And day two, you'd be
I'd be setting up a new business.
Starting out a new business. Yeah, and I think the rich life is from the little moments that you find important. So the thing that you were going on about being honest about whether something's for you. I mean, we mentioned FOMO. FOMO is seeing things on the outside, and I want that, but we don't stop to say, is that actually what we want? And sometimes the horrific answer is, actually, no, that's not what I want.
No,
Why the hell am I going for that?
Yeah, that's really hard as well, because I've gone through that journey a little bit myself because of my first business. But also, I think it comes back to, when is enough enough? And I had this conversation with my husband recently, because for a few years we've been talking about, do we get a bigger house? Do we stay where we are? And don't get me wrong, I would like a slightly bigger house because I really want my own office space. I don't really properly have that. But then I said to him recently, I was like, but when is enough enough? Like, you get a bigger house, the kids are getting older. Most people then end up having to downsize. Or do we just get rid of the mortgage and be able to travel the world and enjoy life? Like, for me, that's more what I'm after. So he's like, oh, bigger house and all the rest. And I had a conversation, I was like, why? Why do we need a bigger house? Our house is perfectly adequate for our family. We've got a lovely garden. Why not just spend some money on making it something we're more happier with and actually just enjoy what we have? Because, and again, this comes back to the societal expectations of what's thrown with us, because we're always looking for the next thing. And you know what? We can go and buy that bigger house and we're still not going to be happy because we're chasing the next thing. And our brain is always looking for the next thing, because that's how we've been conditioned. So it's really sitting down and being frank with yourself and go, actually, what is it that I want? Have I got enough? Like, and when you then realize, actually, you don't need as much as what you think to enjoy your life. You don't need to be a millionaire. If you want to be one, fine, but you don't need to be a millionaire. You start really actually enjoying your life.
Yeah.
And that sounds really simple, but it's true.
Oh, it's something that we need to be reminded of, because we're constantly reminded of the opposite end of the scale. We're constantly reminded of consumerism. We go scrolling, and the next thing you know, everybody's offering all these things, and it's like, oh my God, I want to be part of that. I want to be part of that. But you know, when it comes down to it, does it align with the things that are the most important to you? If coffee and family is important to you, and you're going off drinking alcohol at a party, that's pretty far away from where you want to be doing. So do you want to spend time away from the coffee and the family doing the other thing, unless it aligns with another value? So one other thing, so we've got loads of stuff going on here. We've got this idea of one passion. No, I know we've got the idea of sustainability. So these big ideas and these big bits of money. Oh, I wanted to tell you something about that. Just reminding me. Six-figure businesses. It's the dream. It's the strap line. Oh, seven-figure business. I'll tell you right now that I have in my life officially had a six-figure business. There was one year where I my turnover was 102, I think, £1,000. That was the year where I lost more money than ever before. That was the year where I made absolutely no profit. And not only that, that was the year that I had to downsize my business because I could not afford to keep it going the way that I scaled up way too fast. My expenses exceeded my income. And I was the one that had to take the hit for it. And I ended up spending the next few years trying to pay that money back.
Yeah.
So, you know, beware, look at the things underneath all of that and what it takes. Because if you're not in it for the money, that's not a bad thing.
No.
It just means that you're living a rich life, and the money will come from somewhere. You can either magnetize it through being passionate, or you can create it through other ways of monetizing your skills and experience. So there's and living a rich life is not necessarily dependent on money, even though business does need money to grow and scale and things like that. It's just it's the oil that greases those wheels.
The thing is, you could have a successful business without being six figures. And, you know, I've hit six figures in my other business. And actually, that was my most unhappiest. And I completely scaled it back because it was unrealistic for where I am in my life with my children. And I think, again, this goes around building your business up around your life in a way that works for you. And that is, again, going against the norm, because for quite a long time it was, unless you have a six-figure business, you're not a proper business owner. It's a load of crap. Like, come on, it's not. No, you don't need a six-figure business. And actually, I work with my money coaching, I work with a lot of six-figure business owners. And usually, because we're not taught financial literacy skills and financial education skills, they end up, like you said, in debt, not managing the money well, or unhappy. And that's because we're not looking at the financial side. And when you go to that, it is then at the next level, but then you need to be being able to afford extra support in your business. And I'm not saying it's always the case. There are different business models that way it isn't like that. But unless you're really looking at your finances when you get to that side, which you do need to be doing at all levels, it then goes to the next level of your taxes and the things that you're not looking after. And then you end up getting your own personal liability as well. So it's really thinking, okay, is this actually really what I want? And when I built my six-figure business, it wasn't what I wanted, because it didn't work for me and my family. Because, you know, my son with his cerebral palsy, you know, he's got his disability, it wasn't realistic running that kind of business. And then I was working 6 days a week. It was so unhappy at home. And I was like, why am I doing this? Like, what's the point? So we scaled it all back, and we're much happier as a family now we've done that. And like this summer holiday is probably the easiest summer holiday I've had with my children since I've been a mum, because I have completely stepped back with a lot of things. And don't get me wrong, I'm still working 2 to 3 days a week. But I've managed to manage the childcare with my husband, and I've had more time with my family, and we're enjoying things, we're doing things. That doesn't mean we are going away on a holiday at the end of the month, but you know, day trips, we're taking picnics and we're doing things. Don't get me wrong, we get the ice creams and things, but it's about stripping back and going back to what really matters. And what really matters is how you're living your life in that. And again, this is where I've had to take a huge step back and really look at things, because it's really easy to get sucked in that, oh, well, they're doing that, how are they doing that? And when I look at other money coaches who are doing things, and I go, oh, wow, they've been able to scale so fast and do this, but then they've got no children. They haven't got a child with who's neurodivergent. They haven't got a child with a disability who's gone through 3 operations in his 10 years of life, who you spent a whole year in hospital with. And when you look back and go, actually, why am I in their lane when I need to be in my lane? Because that's not how I want to be running my life. That's not how I do my business. And this is how my business works for me. So I no longer, or I very rarely do evening calls, because for a couple of years I did evening calls, and my God, it's bloody hard doing evening calls when you have a child who's ADHD and does not sleep. It just doesn't happen. So I was on his bedroom floor with headphones in, trying to do a call, and it was just not happening. I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing that anymore. It doesn't work for me and my family.
Not even for me. Not even for me.
So I don't know. I refuse to do it now. So my calls are during the day, and if that doesn't work for you, then I'm not your person. And this is how we need to realign things and actually go, what is working for us? And when you do that, your finances work out, but you do need to be looking at the money and being careful with it and working out the financial side. Because as you said, you just end up in the whole debt trap.
Yeah, absolutely. There is one more thing, something that I mull over quite a lot, and I just want to hear your take on this. Is the idea, I call it the grandma effect. So it's the idea of the relationship that you have with money in your business, specifically in your business, is much better when you have a buffer between, a little bit of space between you and the money. So you don't, you have the emotional attachment because you have emotional attachment to the business, but you don't have the emotional attachment to the money in terms of the money is coming through your business. And it's a tool for you to use in your business. So you don't cry over the money, you don't panic over the money, because it's the business that's in control of the money as opposed to you. So you are not your business, you run your business, and the money comes in as a tool, as part of the business. So I call it the grandma effect, because it's the difference between being a mom and the way that you, and the way that you treat your kids being a mum, and it's like tear your hair out. But when you look at grandmas, they're like, they can leave the kids, they can hand them back,
feed them all the sweets.
they have the best time, because that was that little buffer, that little level of separation, that boundary between, in terms of emotional boundaries between you and the business. And if you can kind of click that switch on and start thinking of the business brings in the money rather than you, it makes it a little bit easier, especially when it comes to things like discounting, especially when it comes to putting those rules into place as to pricing, this stuff that you talk about with all of your clients in your membership everywhere, how to price, when to discount, when not to discount, what value is, and the value, you take that away from the value of the person that you are, and you put it into the value of the business and the products that you have. What do you reckon about this? What's your take?
So with your business, as you're doing it, if your business is where you're getting your income from, you need to make sure that actually you are paying yourself before anything. There is no point you running a business if you're not paying yourself. So with my own business, I know how much I pay myself every single month, and that's how much I want to be bringing in at a minimum. Anything then after that, I make sure I've got the money to be able to pay the things I need to run the business, subscriptions, CRM system, those sort of things. But when I'm talking about that, I'm not talking about a membership to something that you've joined just because. No, I'm talking about the CRM system that has my email list that I need to actually be able to make the sales, to keep on top of my audience and things like this. And then Canva, because you need that for your marketing, and let's just face it, it's just so much easier. So when I'm talking about those kind of costs, I'm talking about the actual cost you need as a bare minimum to keep your business running. Anything over that, I class it as nice to have spends. Like that would be me like going, okay, maybe a membership where I could leave it, but actually I quite enjoy being part of, which actually I've stripped back a lot of those now. Or going to an event, because I hate to say it, yes, I do love going to events, and I like going to those things, but actually sometimes they are a nice to have, because, or like a networking thing that you've got to pay for, because let's face it, if you really want to, you could get a free networking event online. So those are the extras. So when you are looking at your business money, you need to be looking at what you're paying yourself first. That is your money to bring in, so you can obviously live. Anything beyond that is your businesses, and your business money needs to be separate, because and it's really hard because you are your business as a business owner, but the money is not yours. And you need to be reinvesting that money in your business to grow your business. But this is where a lot of people struggle, is they make a business plan for a year, but they do not make a financial plan for the year. You need a financial strategy alongside that. So you need to go, right, what am I going to be paying myself every month for the next 12 months? Can I live on that, though? Which is where your personal finances come in really important. Because as a business owner, your business finances affect your personal finances. So actually that money you're paying yourself, can you live on that? So do you even know what your personal finances are? If you don't, then there's something not quite aligned there. And then you then go, okay, right, I know what I'm going to pay myself. Okay, this is what I've got that I know I need to be able to pay these costs, so my business can just run and function as a bare minimum. And then, what extras do you want? And then that's going to help you with your sales. It's going to help you with everything else. So it all aligns together. But of course, your business money is separate, and you do need to take that emotional attachment from it. And that can be really, really hard, because it's money, and obviously we like money. Everyone, I'm sorry, but I don't care who you are, we all like money. We do, let's face it, because money is the thing that gives us the means to do the things we enjoy. So whilst you might not necessarily be running your business for the money, you still need the money there to be able to enjoy what you're doing and to live. So it is about actually going, okay, I've got £2,000 profit. Okay, well, do I pay myself a bit more, or do I actually reinvest that back in the business to grow it? So this is then where you need to have your vision of your business and know where you're going and what you want to do. Because if for a year or two you're quite happy with your business and you're not wanting to necessarily grow it to the next level, well, maybe you do just take a little bit more out, or maybe you just reinvest it in getting a bit of support, like a VA, or maybe a bit of marketing, like to make your life easier. So this is where it all then comes in, but it does need to be separate, and it can be hard. But then you also need to remember you've got your taxes in there as well. And you have to take it away, because your business is separate to your personal stuff. Even though they do link together, they are separate.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely something to remember. That's going all the down all the practical financial side of things, and that's something that you're going to be talking a lot about that actually at the event, because we're going to be looking at things, how to make sure that your business survives even when shit happens, what you can do today to make sure that your business survives later on, financially future-proofing the business. So we've covered so much ground today. Remember, it's okay to like what you like, even if nobody else likes it. It's okay to have another job. You are a passionate person who is going to do amazing things. You, me, and everybody that's listening here, you're going to do amazing things. Just keep going. We got your back. And thank you so much, Louisa, for jumping on this masterclass. I hope everybody gets something out of it. If you have enjoyed this, please drop something in the comments below. We're going to stick this on YouTube as well. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already, and make sure that you give us lots of love, and so that this can actually go out to a lot more people, because we need it. We need it.
We need more honesty in the online space.
Yeah.
You're definitely going to get it from me.
Right, I'm going to let you go off and eat your cake. I'm going to go in hunt of a cake. I don't think we've got one in the house at the moment.
It's a shame, because I do. If anyone who's watching this, I've been very naughty this morning, because I've had a very long train journey, and I got a double Belgian buns, so I can't even.
They look like boobies.
I should. It's going to be. I remember the picture I sent you of that, actually. Oh gosh, no, I'm glad people can't see our conversations, Michelle. But no, I got some Belgian buns, but I can't share one with you because you're not close enough. So I'm going to eat one on your behalf and be very unhealthy.
Okay. All right, send me a
picture. But anyone, thank you for having me, and anyone who is watching this, do look at Michelle's event, because I know it's going to be absolutely game changing for you and your business. And I'm going to be on stage as well, and I will be talking about the FOMO of spending and how to avoid that in your business too, because I think that's really important. But yeah, follow Michelle. Love what she's doing, because what you're creating is amazing and is just fantastic. And she's lovely as well, and she's got nutty people in her world, so you know.
Right, we're going before this gets too long and everybody gets bored.
Bye.
Oh, that was the lovely Louisa. I absolutely love that woman to death. Sometimes we lose touch, and it drives me crazy, because she's off like a rocket doing all sorts of exciting things. She's got an amazing thing that's just about to start very, very soon. It's called WealthMind. It's for neurospicy or neurodivergent people who really struggle to get their finances organized in their business. She's got some amazing trainings in that, and that's coming up. She's looking for founder members. She's got a few in the bag already. So if that sounds like something like you would like to get in on, have a look on the link below and join her world as well. Right, I will see you next week. I can't remember what I'm doing next week. I'm sure I'll pop the event on Facebook so you can have a look and see what it is. I should have been a bit more organized and say it. I'll probably stick a little note in. I shall see you soon. Love you.